What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be showing off a Rhydon list today. It's similar to the list that I saw OmniPoke posted on his channel, except we got a few cool little things going on in the deck. I do have some Lieutenant Surge in the list, as well as Koga's Trap, which I think is really cool. If your opponent just gets one big attacker loaded up, you can Lieutenant Surge and Koga's Trap the big attacker so that they're confused, just slowing them down maybe by a turn or two while you try to deck them out with Rhydon's attack. Dirty work in combination with Giovanni's Exile allows you to mill the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. If you played Giovanni's Exile during your turn, there's also a Diglett that allows you to mill an extra card if you discard the Diglett with Giovanni's Exile. And then we got a cool little engine going on with Dedenne-GX and the Mewtwo. The Mewtwo puts the Hello Kilogram Ninja. The Mewtwo puts a supporter from your discard pile on top of your deck, allowing you to cycle through your Giovanni's Exiles turn after turn, which is super sweet. And then we also play a Lucario and Melmetal. I'm actually really excited about that. The Lucario and Melmetal-GX allows you to just strip all of the energy off of the defending Pokemon once during the game if you would like to. So I think that's all really cool. Let's start off with an Ultra Ball here. Just going to get rid of the Guzma and Koga's Trap and get Rhyhorn. So let's see. We are playing against a Pikarom deck. This is cool. It's what I wanted. Just a straightforward meta matchup here to see if our Rhyhorn mill deck can be successful. In the few games that I've played with it so far, it's been a little bit tough to get all of the pieces together that we need, but this hand is looking pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. We got Switch, Great Ball, a couple of Rhyhorns, Giovanni's Exile. This is everything we need to get a turn 2 Exile here, so we just hope that, yeah, my boy Dedenne doesn't go down on the first turn of the game. I mean, I could switch into Rhyhorn and try to maybe prevent the Dedenne from taking damage in the first place, which would be good since you can only exile. Yeah, I think that's probably for the best since you can only exile Pokemon. Yeah, something like that. No, well, we'll pass. You can only exile Pokemon that don't take damage. So by retreating the Dedenne, we promote a Rhyhorn and kind of just hope that, you know, the Dedenne doesn't take damage, but not exactly sure how explosive my opponent's turn 1 is going to be. If they hit into the Dedenne-GX, I get to save my board position by keeping all my Rhyhorns, which I really like. And it looks like they are playing Pika Pads. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Such a busted deck. We got Order Pad Heads for the Nest Ball, so they're going to be able to go get a bench Pokemon here. And I'm wondering if they have a Dedenne-GX in their list yet. Noticed that the Pikachu and Zekrom deck is getting a lot more turn 1 full blitz with the addition of Dedenne-GX and that Dede change ability. Looks like they're just going to grab Zeraora. That is a little bit interesting for our deck to deal with because they just have constant mobility throughout the course of the game with Zeraora being able to freely retreat into whoever they want. Definitely tough for a stall deck to deal with, but we're going to see if we can't just combat that a little bit. We've got a perfect go turn 2 here. We've got Rhydon, and we can switch into the Rhydon. I am playing a couple copies of Switch in the deck, which I think is really good, especially with the addition of Lucario and Melmetal. And then I can Great Ball or Ultra Ball. I think I can just Ultra Ball away maybe for the Diglett and then Giovanni. You know, that's pretty cool. So I'll do that. And we'll get the Diglett. A little bit of a greedy play there, I guess. I could set up another Rhydon, but, you know, we'll go for it. We'll show off the Diglett. It's got Underground Work. If you discard this Pokemon with the effect of Giovanni's Exile, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So we'll do it, and we're going to discard the Dedenne and the Diglett for sure. Get rid of those. Mill an Energy Switch, very good. And then Dede change for 6 new cards. Looking for more Rhydons. And it looks like I have Rhyperior, Diglett. I could Stretcher into probably the Dedenne-GX, honestly, next turn. So we're just going to dirty work this turn and then see what my opponent's got going for us next turn. We got rid of the Tapu Koko Prism Star. That is really excellent for us. because it just slows my opponent down. They're not going to be able to accelerate energy with that. And then you have a good deck. And it's going to allow us to probably buy ourselves one more turn. 110 hit points is kind of tough. They could get a Zapdos if they're still playing one. It looks like they got the new Zeraora, so that's a really cool addition. It's got Crushing Claw. Discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Very cool. And they'll be able to get rid of my DCE. Fortunately for me, I do have another double Colorless in my hand, and I'm ready to go. But it looks like they're retreating, and they got a Thunder Mountain Prism Star. That is a very valuable resource for them. They're going to just use Crushing Claw and attach to their benched Pikachu and Zekrom. Okay, so they haven't taken a prize yet. My Counter Energy is not activated. Let's just see what we could do here. I could Dedenne change this whole hand away. That seems kind of bad. Or I could Rescue Stretcher for a Pokemon, trade it for something else. Let's see. I could go Pokécom for my Lucario Melmetal. I can't quite do that because we're not, we need that Pikarom to be in the active before we could pull that off. So let's just attach. I think I'm okay with just using Lillie this turn, to be honest, and just kind of chilling a little bit. I think that's kind of where I'm headed. I just want to maybe Rescue Stretcher for, we're just going to get another Pokemon. Put a Pokemon from my discard pile into my hand. We're just going to get, I think, the Rhyperior. And I could just use Rhyperior this turn, which is kind of cool, and just mill that way. I'm kind of into that. We'll do that. He's going to have a lot more hit points, so we'll just mill 3 cards. Cool. And then I don't really need to switch yet. I kind of hope the Rhyperior gets knocked out, so I'll just Lillie for some cards. And then we've got a Great Ball too. So I'll see if I hit on the Great Ball. We got 2 Rhydons, so that's really excellent. And then I think I'm just going to wait for next turn and see where my opponent goes with this. We got the switch, we got the Rhydon. I've already Lillied, so there's no sort of Giovanni's Exile happening this turn. I don't want to, and I guess I'll evolve this. It's probably fine. If they knock it out, I have Rescue Stretcher in hand, which is fine, and we're just going to pass. Rock Wrecker, never an attack that we're actually going to use with this deck, which is interesting. However, I could Horn Attack, which is oddly relevant in this matchup. I could just bring up the Pikachu and Zekrom. I could Horn Attack for 180. Not really something that I think I'm going to do. I would rather use my Lucario and Melmetal and just take all the energy off of their Pikachu and Zekrom, especially if they decide they're going to Full Blitz to the active, which I fully expect them to do, since they are playing I guess they're playing against a deck that doesn't really attack, right? So I wonder who they're going to bring up here. If they bring up a Rhydon, that's like fine, I guess, because I can just Rescue Stretcher back. But if they bring up Dedenne, that's kind of like my ideal scenario. I don't even care. If you Full Blitz, knock out my Dedenne, that's cool. And sure enough, that's what he's going for. He's got the Electro Power in hand, I imagine, and then is going to go in and just Full Blitz to the active. That does put a lot of pressure on me here, since it brings him down to just a couple prizes remaining. However, if I could go in with my Lucario and Melmetal here, which I just have all the cards to do, then I'm just going to remove every energy from that Pikachu and Zekrom. He's already got his Tapu Koko in the discard pile, so let's see if that's going to be an option for us here. We've got Rescue Stretcher. I could just bring back the Dedenne. It's tough. I don't want to, and I guess I just GX this thing. He's got 2 cards in hand. We probably just do it. Rescue Stretcher, switch, and do that thing. I think now is the time. So let's Rescue Stretcher, put a Pokemon from my discard pile into my hand. We're going to get the Dedenne. I want to throw the Dedenne back into the deck. I'm just very close to being able to pull everything off here. We can just go get ourselves. Oh no, I've prized him. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, so Lucario Melmetal is prized, it looks like. He's not in the discard pile, he's prized. All right, so he's prized. It's cool. We will probably just go get ourselves another Dedenne then, right? Because that's kind of just what we're doing. So let's see. I got 2 DCs left in the deck. I like that. Haven't played a supporter yet. Yes, we just want to Dedenne-GX. So we'll do that. Yeah, because I need to see more cards. So We already got the energy on our Rhydon. That's good. I have no way to strip all of his energy away. That's going to hurt so bad because he's going to take 3 prizes and go down to 1. And with my Lucario Melmetal being the prizes, I'm never getting it. So that's just like really brutal here. I got to hope that I just hit probably Guzma. No, Guzma's already in my discard pile. I would have to... Yeah, I'm not sure that I can do it. The Lucario Melmetal is like super necessary in this matchup. So let's just... Dedenne change. I guess I have to do it. It's just really unfortunate. Oh, he's got the... This is insane. I could Dedenne change. He's got the Thunder Mountain in play. So I guess I could Giovanni's Exile. I forgot that I could Giovanni's Exile the Dedenne. That's very good. And I've got that. We're ready to go on that front. So let's Great Ball. See what we get off this. I've got Mewtwo. That's cool. It'll allow us to throw maybe a Giovanni's Exile back on top of the deck. It's very good. So we'll do that. Gonna play the we got one in the discard pile already. Ooh, we've got Koga's Trap. That could be very good. And I've got 2 Giovanni's Exile in hand. So I think we go here. And I'm gonna Mind Report the Koga's Trap back on top of the deck. I think. Yeah, that seems fine. Sure. We didn't hit one of our Lieutenant Surges here. If we hit like Lieutenant Surge, that would have been insane because then I just would have Koga's Trap this turn. But unfortunately, it's not really what we got going on. I can't Dedenne change more than once a turn, so we'll just get rid of the Dedenne and the Mewtwo. And then we get to Dirty Work. However, ooh, he could just take out both my Rhydons this turn, which is like insane. That's really bad. So I think that's just what's happening, though. There's no other real way around it. I could have just hit him, I guess, for 180 and then done 60 and actually just knocked him out, which is a possibility, but we're just going to Dirty Work. Okay. I think we may need to, I guess, I've just because we can't take the prizes. So I'm wondering, do we need to play Gladion in this list? It's a possibility, but playing Gladion just feels so bad. So because like you want a Giovanni's Exile like every turn, so Gladion is not a feel-good card in this deck. I think that it is a possibility though, because just finding the Lucario Melmetal in this situation would have been phenomenal. Just remove all that energy, and now we are just losing both our Rhyhorns. We had everything we needed to do the Lucario Melmetal, but we're going down to 2 prizes here. I got Rhyperior in the active. Tough. My opponent's got 16 cards left in deck, so that's still a pretty considerable amount here. And we can't really disrupt their hand in a deck like this. I do have Koga's Trap. I would rather Koga's Trap after. Let's see. They probably have Guzma. That would just be really bad. I could go Koga's Trap, Rescue Stretcher, and Dedenne. That's probably what we got. So we're going to Rescue Stretcher, shuffle 3 back into the deck. We definitely want the 2 Rhyhorns and a Rhydon. And then we're going to Koga's Trap. Yup. And then I guess I do have an option to potentially Dedenne change, which is interesting, right? Because that Thunder Mountain is still out. So we'll do this. And then I can't attach the DCE and the Dedenne-GX. It's unfortunate. All right, so I'm going to attach the DCE to the active and just Dedenne-GX here. Draw myself 6 new cards. So we got Brooklet, and another Dedenne. Alrighty then. Maybe I can Rock Wrecker, dude. That would be insane. Not affected by weakness? Why? Oh, that's horrible. Okay. So we can get ourselves at least 1 Rhyhorn and hope that my opponent just does not have Guzma. That would be good. And then we can go in and Rhydon next turn. But I am actually running lower on cards than my opponent. Believe it or not, we have actually less in our deck because we're just actually churning through much faster than they are. They need a 2-card combo in that big hand. They got like 8 cards in hand. They just need Lightning and Guzma, and they should be pretty good here. They got Energy Switch, and that's very good for them as well, just diversifying their energy. Really needed to Lucario Melmetal. They got another one, so yeah, that play wouldn't do anything now that they've got their energy diversified. You really want to do that on the turn that they have like 6 all on their Pikachu and Zekrom. It looks like they're going to Ultra Ball. They're probably getting either a Dedenne-GX or a Let Loose. So they're going to limit us both to 4 cards, see if they find that Guzma. It looks like they don't have the Guzma yet. So they are still burning cards down too. So that's all really good for me. We could get a Dirty Work off next turn, but it's just a long shot. Really, a Guzma and an Electro Power wins them the game. They got Switch. Oh, that's pretty horrible, going down to 1 prize, and then all they need to do is literally announce an attack. I think that is it. Not going to be anything I can do to stop this Pikachu and Zekrom deck from taking game here. Since they are taking a knockout with Zeraora, I would have to Guzma up probably a Lele. There's not even anything with a decent amount of retreat cost in the Zeraora. It's not all going to happen. I think the Rhydon deck might just be a little bit short of greatness, unfortunately. We had a lot of things go right for us. We had the Tapu Koko Prism Star get discarded, but still just a little bit too short. With the Dedenne-GX engine, we do offer up a lot of prizes for a mill deck, so it's really tough to deal with those. I will try to save face, though, and at least mill a little bit more. And let's go ahead, Ultra Ball, get ourselves another Dedenne-GX, draw some cards, and they should just be able to retreat for game. That would just be it. We have Acerola, Lieutenant Surge Strategy. I need to Lieutenant Surge, I guess, and then Lele. Yeah, we need a Lele for, I guess there's no Guzma. My Guzma's already in the discard pile, so I can't actually Guzma this turn. So that's really tough. We just got Giovanni's Exile, and we can get rid of both of our Dedennes and Dirty Work. So that's all we got. Just a little bit short here of being able to do it. Gonna bring my opponent down to like 7 cards, but not quite enough. So pretty cool, pretty close. The Rhydon deck just falling short of game there. With 6 cards left in my opponent's deck, if I could just attack one more time, we might have had it. So I really want to see if we can get there with the Lucario Melmetal-GX, see if we could put that card to use at all in this deck, or if it's good or even worth playing. It seems like it's worth it, so I'm going to give the deck one more shot here and see if we can't get maybe that crazy Lucario Melmetal-GX play off. It fills a similar space that the Articuno GX filled in previous stall or mill decks, just being able to cold crush, take all the energy off of the defending Pokemon. Lucario Melmetal does the same thing. Does offer up 3 prizes, so he is a little bit of a liability, and it's kind of sketchy to play with, but I think it's very powerful. If we just had him that game, that would have been a total game changer. So we'll see what we can do here. It is kind of funny. It makes it so that all of your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks throughout the course of the game, but we don't actually have any other metal Pokemon, so just this guy. And here he is, the Full Metal Wall GX, right? When you get to discard all of the energy on the defending Pokemon, so that's cool. We've got 2 Pokécoms in this hand, which is great. We can just start trading away for our setup Pokemon, Lele, Dedenne-GX, things like that. I think we're going for a turn 1 Tapu Lele-GX so that we can Lillie. We only play like 2 actual draw supporters in the deck, which is proving to be a little bit problematic. Lillie turn 1 is great, but then you kind of need some juice a little bit later in the game as well, and I feel like the 2 Lillie and like your Dedenne just barely kind of get you there. They don't quite actually get you there all the time. And it looks like I actually am going to have to Dedenne this hand. It's not exactly what you want, but it's all good. I'll just Pokemon Communication here, get that. And I guess I do have everything else. And I got 2 Rhydons in my hand and a DCE, so I don't think they're going to be attacking on the first turn of the game. Oh, they're just scooping. They're like not trying. That's fair. Okay. 1-1. That's right. Who's counting? We're 1-1. They don't want to see it. It's cool. We'll roll another one, see if we can get another opponent to stick in the game with us. People don't really like to play against mill decks. Imagine that. It's real troll hours out here on the PTCGO ladder. And I don't usually play mill decks either, but it's a new archetype. Want to show it off out of Unbroken Bonds, and I think it's cool. It's got some cool things going for it. I've got the difficult decision to go between Mewtwo, Dedenne, or Lucario Melmetal. I think we're going to start with Mewtwo, get a turn 1 supporter with Tapu Lele, and go from there. We keep starting with Lucario and Melmetal, sure enough. And the Mewtwo doesn't actually reveal too much about what I'm playing. They got Heat Factory. This is looking like a Charizard or Blacephalon deck, judging by the Fire and Psychic. And this is looking like a Blacephalon deck for sure. With Mysterious Treasure on board. They're probably going to draw out a lot of cards. I do have to worry a little bit about the fact that they can just accelerate energy into play and take knockouts, though. I guess it could actually be a tough matchup for them since I don't plan on taking any prize cards. If I can just disrupt and, make it tough for them to keep energy on their Blacephalon, then maybe we'll be cool. That or, they'll just discard energy from their Naganadels every turn and make it awfully hard for me to play against. So let's see. We're going to Ultra Ball away. I think the Lucario and Melmetal as well as the Rhydon. I do have Rescue Stretcher in my hand, so that's cool. We'll get ourselves a Rhyhorn, and then I think just Lele for Lillie here, draw some cards out. And hopefully my opponent will get a turn 2, maybe GX attack or something, and unleash my Lieutenant Surge strategy. I really do like the idea of using Koga's Trap against this deck. I think that could be good. I'm going to Rescue Stretcher, I think, just shuffle those 2 back into the deck at this point, and then we're going to Lillie for 6. It's a good turn 1 draw there for me. Unfortunately, we did not get ourselves another Rhyhorn. It's cool though, fine with it. Rescue Stretcher with nothing to grab. I can just put the DCE on maybe the active Counter Energy on the bench. We'll do Counter Energy on the bench. All right, and then we're gonna pass. See what they got for me next turn. They'll probably just retreat and use Bursting Burn here. I doubt they're gonna Guzma knockout. They could go Guzma knockout, which would be pretty devastating for me, not gonna lie, because we need to get a Rhydon into play. Looks like they are gonna play Ultra Ball, so they could get Lele if they play one, or just another Let Loose or Naganadel. I think they're just setting up their board with Naganadel, which is fine, drawing a ton of cards with Heat Factory, which is proving to be pretty good here, sticking for the second turn. And this is where it's going to start to get tough. They're just going to flood their field with energy. They do need a Lost Zone 3 to knock out a Rhydon. And boom, there goes the Rhydon. So that's bad. That is definitely no bueno, but we'll see what we can do. I probably will just Rescue Stretcher back and try to do it again next turn, promote the Mewtwo, make them knock that out. That's really tough, but it's kind of what we got. So we got Brooklet Hill. Very good. We can actually get 2 Rhydons into play, Rhyhorns into play this turn, which is excellent, and we stop them from drawing so aggressively. We can put a Pokemon from our discard pile in our hand. Yup, we definitely want that Rhyhorn back. And then I think I just save all this for next turn. I can Giovanni's Exile just the Lele to make sure that I don't get kind of bopped there, but we're just going to attach to our bench guy and hope he doesn't get knocked out. And then next turn, I'm going in with Lieutenant Surge strategy, probably Giovanni's Exile, the Dedenne, and do that. That'll be cool. Thinking that's what we got going on. Thankfully, we do have the 2 Rhyhorns. So one of these is going down again. That's just highly unfortunate. What more could I do, guys? This is not feeling very pretty. And I guess by the Guzma play, he's got it. He's just gonna Lost Zone, 2 more energy here. I think I have potential to be able to win this, though, especially if I can confuse him this turn. That would be super rad. He is getting all the energy off of his active Blacephalon, so that's incredible for me. Let's just promote this Rhyhorn and hope for the best. We've got some plays. Let's go. Top deck Rhyhorn. That's amazing, too. So we've got that. We can Lieutenant Surge Strategy and Giovanni's Exile, I guess. Yep, so we'll do that. Giovanni's Exile, the Mewtwo. And then Dedenne-GX. He doesn't have any energy in play, so I'm not really worried about him being able to actually go in and knock out my Dedenne-GX this turn. That should not be a problem. So other things that I wanted to do. I want to Kogas. So we don't have access to the Tapu Lele this turn. That means that I'm probably not going to be able to Kogas. However, I can set up my board more and potentially... Yeah, I just want to get rid of that. We want to get ourselves another Rhyhorn, I think. Yeah, that's cool. And then I could actually get a Dedenne-GX just for next turn so that we know we can draw more cards. I think I actually want to do that because we are in a little bit of a sketchy spot here where if we don't draw cards, then we are for sure going to lose. So let's Lillie. We got Mewtwo. I can put stuff back from the discard pile in my hand. Or on top of the deck. That's very good. So I think next turn I want to start off with a Lieutenant Surge Strategy. And then, yeah. So we'll do that. We're going to throw the Lieutenant Surge Strategy on top of my deck. And I guess I actually should not go in and use... I probably should have saved the Mewtwo's just in case they let loose me next turn. So I'm going to just save that there. Top deck the Lieutenant Surge. Then I'll probably throw the Giovanni's on top and then Dedenne into it next turn. That's what we're kind of thinking here. So let's just dirty work. We're going to discard the top 5. That's good. And go from there. I'm thinking that they're going to GX this turn. That's kind of what I think they got on the agenda. And then we want to confuse them. That's kind of where I'm at. They have 5 energy in the discard pile. That means that they have got plenty of energy to charge up with their Naganadels. See, they got Ultra Ball here. And then what do they have off of this final card in hand? It's going to be a Cynthia to shuffle draw 6. They could knock out my Rhydon if they rip the energy switch here. They could go charge up energy switch and I guess charge up again on the other Naganadel. This guy can high heat blast. If my opponent ever gets just a bunch of fire energy in play, they can do 110, which is perfect to knock out my Rhydons as well. Though I don't think he's probably going to be using that. And sure enough, here is the Bursting Burn. So I am confused, which is tough. I do have Acerola in my hand, which is cool because I can actually use that with Lieutenant Surge Strategy. So we're going to... It's actually really cool because I can Rhyperior first. So this is all working out just how I wanted it. So we're going to bench this thing and put the Giovanni's Exile on top of my deck. Then we are going to Lieutenant Surge Strategy. We're going to evolve into Rhyperior, which mills the top 3, which is excellent. Yup, do it. Then we are going to Acerola. Yup, let's do that. Throw the Rhyhorn up. Rhydon there, and it's not Koga's Trap, not happening this turn, but we got a lot of other cool stuff going on, so I'm not terribly worried about it. We've got that, and then we could Dedenne-GX, and we're going to draw into the Giovanni's Exile. We already know, we put it there on top. Sure enough, we would have had the Koga's Trap, which would have been super dope too, but I think I just want to keep milling here. So we are going to mill the Dedenne, and probably, if he Guzmas my Dedenne-GX, we're kind of in a bad spot. I want to see if we do want to actually use the... Yeah, I think we just get rid of both Dedennes here. It's probably cool. And then, go from there. We could put another Rhyhorn in play too, considering this one is definitely biting the dust this next turn, so I like that. And then I got Rescue Stretcher in my hand for next turn. We can get ourselves another Dedenne and go from there. So let's dirty work. Discard 5 cards. So now they're down to just 9 in deck. This is working much better this game than it did last game. I'm feeling pretty excited about it. though we are in a little bit of a grinder right here with the way my hand is looking. I guess I could Rescue Stretcher some stuff back into the deck, like Dedennes and things like that, and then could Ultra Ball for it, which is definitely a route. But I think with only 9 cards left in deck, we're looking like if there's just no funny business going forward, I should just be able to win. I don't need to strip them of energy. I don't even need to Koga's trap them. We just stay the course, mill a couple more times, and that's going to be game over. They're probably gripping their second, if I had to guess, gripping their second let loose for the end of the game to try and save them. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to Rescue Stretcher away. Yeah, shuffle 3. We're going to shuffle the Dedenne, and also a Rhydon, I think, back into the deck. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, fine with it. And then we need to go an Ultra Ball for the Dedenne and go for it. I think that's where we're at. So let's do that. We've got the DCE, and we need a Giovanni's Exile here. The deck is not super big. We did not hit Giovanni's, but I did hit that. See, I did not put the Lele back into the deck. Oh, but I got it in my hand. So I got a Rescue Stretcher in my hand. So I can do that. That's cool. We can evolve here and evolve here, and then just Rescue Stretcher for... I could shuffle 3 more back in and then Ultra Ball, which is cool. And, well, no, I'd have to, yeah, we're just going to put the Lele back in our hand, do it this way. And then I can Ultra Ball next turn for the Dedenne-GX again after I exile both the Lele and the Dedenne here. So this is like definitely a nail biter, but I think we can do it. All right, we're very close. Let's go. Dirty work. Really hanging on by a thread here. Trying to keep my opponent from winning this game. If I can just do it one more time. I'm not sure if they've got a let loose in their hand to be able to throw some stuff back into the deck, but we're hanging on by a thread. We've got just the Rhydon on the bench, which should clean up the game for me. And they've got to do this a bunch more times. So let's see what we can do coming down the wire. I think this is a good matchup for us because my opponent's deck is very straightforward. It just does, just knocks out the active. Pikachu and Zekrom can be much tougher to beat because of the Tag Bolt GX. Being able to take 2 prizes is really brutal. And I kind of just got hung up this last turn. All right, so we are in there so long as, actually, I just need to evolve my Rhyperior, and that's game because I can Toppling Wind. That's it. They are just going to Mind Blown for knockout. We've got Toppling Wind, and that is game. So Rhydon winning one. Oh, that makes me happy. Fantastic. Look at that. We milled him out. Alternative win conditions galore. There we go. Rhyperior getting in there, Toppling Wind, and we just pass, and that is game. They had just 2 more prizes left to take, and we got there. So victorious with the Rhydon deck. I'm going to go ahead and show off the list. Like I said, I looked off of Omnipot's list to get inspiration and took a lot of ideas that we had there, except I think Lieutenant Surge is really good in the deck and should be utilized in some kind of way. We saw the turn with the Lieutenant Surge was absolutely insane. On the turn that we got it, being able to Acerola and play Dirty Work in the same turn was very cool. We saw the Lucario Melmetal would have won me the game versus Pikarom, probably if I could have stripped all that energy away. 2 copies of Switch to be able to pivot into our Lucario Melmetal on the big turn there. I do like the Koga's Trap. I think combos really well with Lieutenant Surge as well. But all in all, I think the engine is about as good as we could hope for with the Mewtwo, Mine Report, and the Dedennes. Very cool, very explosive, and all around a pretty fun deck to play. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. Check out fullgripgames.com for all your TCGO codes and Pokemon singles from Unbroken Bonds. Big shout out to my Blastoise tier Patreon sub, Sarah, everybody who supports me on Twitch. Make sure to check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where we stream every single weekday. You guys are awesome. Take it easy. Have a great day. Peace.